I'm Enrique Cortes. I used to work for an outfit called Perot Sustems, P-A-R-O-T Systems, that was acquired by Dell. Now I'm in charge of Dell Services Latin America, and that has two angles. One is the local Latin America market. I take care of the corporate side, not the consumer side. And the other one is the delivery of services from Latin America to American customers. So it's both sides of the equation. I need to explain a little bit my background so that you understand where I'm coming from. I worked for Perot Sustems 15 years, 5 in London, 1 in Switzerland. Then I moved to India, 3 years. Then I moved to the Philippines. I live in Manila, 2 years. Now in Mexico, Guadalajara, Mexico. So I'm quarter British, quarter Indian, little Filipino, I don't know. Okay, like citizen of the world, so I feel at ease in New York City. It's home. Through that process, I was asked to do something. You know what that is? Eggs in a basket. Perot Sustems had a problem. All eggs in one basket. Do you know what was the basket? India. India was the basket. We had a problem. By the way, at the time, I was living in the Philippines, and I went from India to the Philippines, so I guess I was asked to do this because I was the guy that knew India, and I knew the Philippines, and then the CEO said, we have a problem, and the problem is we have a lot of American clients, of course, and a few Europeans, and all our delivery comes from India, and you know India, so he made a team of 3 guys, and he said, go figure this out. Reduce my risk, reduce my delivery risk, because if something happens in India, bad things happen to us. So that team went to work, and we divided the work into 2 strands. One was, let's do something for our American clients, let's do something different for our European clients. So we went to work, and we did this. We drew a big circle around the US. We said, let's find a location for a delivery center. After some analysis, we discarded most of Central America. The reason was skills. The type of skills we were looking for, we couldn't scale up. Most of the Caribbean, so we focused on Canada and Mexico. Then in Mexico, we focused on 4 places. Mexico City, Monterrey, which is northern Mexico, Guadalajara, and a place called Aguascalientes. It's a tongue twister type thing, Aguascalientes. Now, what are these things? Mexico City is a 20 million inhabitant city, very big, very complex. Monterrey is in northern Mexico, close to the border. Aguascalientes is in central Mexico, is a 500,000 inhabitant city. And Guadalajara. We did the analysis, we did the numbers. The conclusion was Jalisco was a good place to put our outfit. How was that decision made? We discarded Mexico City because it's a complex city, you know, New York style, long commutes, lots of people, lots of skills, but expensive. This decision was made 4 or 5 years ago. Monterrey, at the time, a very safe city, but more expensive also than Guadalajara. Lots of tech companies there, lots of churn of people. And Aguascalientes is too small. So Jalisco was the happy medium. Good cost, churn of people okay, lots of universities, deep talent pool. And when we interacted with the authorities, with the local government, we felt it was efficient, transparent, good place to be. So that's how the decision was made. Now, everybody making a decision like this, we are looking for the same things. No matter if you are an investor, you are trying to put a captive, or like us, we were trying to put a delivery center. You look for these 4 things. It's very easy. Young talent, right? Lots of universities with technical programs. Pool of talent. Economic considerations, cost. And then this one, I couldn't find a good picture, is what is the business environment? This is a safe place, is the government efficient? What about currency, things, all that stuff. what we found is in Jalisco, we have a good number of very good universities of many types, public, private, technical. Actually, Jalisco, we talk about the, let me see, the west side of Mexico is the education center of the west side of Mexico. So many kids go there to study, and then they stay there. So lots of young kids that are well educated. Then as far as the technical pool of talent, I would say very deep. I will tell you more in a second. Deep in many technical specialties and lots of English-speaking people. As far as the cost, I would say salaries, raw salaries in Jalisco are probably 10 to 15% less than in Mexico City, a lot less than in Sao Paulo, I can tell you that. So the economics work. The peso is stable against the dollar, so that helps me plan. And as far as the environment, as I'm telling you, a local government that helps you, and a really nice, we say, ecosystem of companies. I'll expand on that in a second. So what happened? As I told you, this outfit doesn't exist anymore. Perot Sustems became Dell. So I work for Dell now. This is from 2007 when the decision was made to 2011. And this is very interesting, I think. Our business plan said that we were, the main service we were going to deliver out of Mexico was service desk, which means help desk, technical help desk, that sort of thing. In our language, we talk about tier 1 services, tier 2, tier 3. This is tier 1, the basic service. Then tier 2 means a specialist, like a DBA, like a network specialist with some level of expertise. Tier 3 is, in our language, the global expert, right? So our plan was this was going to be a tier 1 location with a little bit of tier 2. I was surprised to see that this evolved into a multi-service location. And I'll tell you what these little things means is we have a service desk, but we have probably 60% of our people in what we call tier 2, which is from 2 years to 6 years experience. And we have 20% of our people as global experts, right? The go-to guys. In applications, in multiple towers of infrastructure. So we have security experts, database experts, networking, wireless, wired, LAN WAN. We have, what else? Systems integration experts. We have project management, program management. We have what we call service management, which is a special discipline we have. So we diversified in a very interesting way, not as per plan. So if you ask me, was my plan met? No, because we saw that the conditions of the skill pool were such that we could deliver more complex services than what we were planning to begin with. We did all this with the support of institutions. These acronyms mean very little to you, but this is the IT Association of Mexico. We got a lot of help from the community, from the technical community, and we got, frankly, a lot of support from the local government of Jalisco and the federal government. Now, what is this help? The help was in terms of advice, but it was also in terms of incentives. Now, I came from India and the Philippines, so I'm used to incentives that are tax incentives. Here, the incentives are money in your pocket incentives, not tax incentives. They give you a check. They go. To launch my operation, the government of Mexico funded probably 50% of my capex to start. Okay, so if I spent $1 million, they funded $500,000 in a check in my pocket. No tricks, no nothing, very transparent. So that's okay, I guess, right? It's not bad. Now, who's there? Who's in Jalisco? The original tech companies in Jalisco are HP and IBM. They have been there for a very long time. Previous speaker talked about, what about Indians in Latin America? Well, we have 4 companies at least that I know in Jalisco. We have a very large TCS outfit, Tata. We have iGate Patni, and recent entrants HCL and Cognizant. Then we have other very large companies that do IT services out of Jalisco, and they do other things. So, for example, Continental, they do automotive, electronics. They also do embedded software out of Jalisco. So in the last 18 months, we saw Oracle put an outfit there, HCL, Cognizant, Bank of America. By the way, Oracle does some very interesting things. It's not trivial work. They do work for the kernel of their products out of their development and testing. So the work that is being done is highly sophisticated, I would say. What did we learn in this journey? Well, we learned several things that I have no problem telling you. First one is I am Mexican, and then I came back to Mexico. In Mexico, some things are very efficient and some are not very efficient, right? It's no surprise. Probably something very inefficient is telecommunications. Very inefficient, because it's not a monopoly, but almost a monopoly. So getting your telecommunications set up and negotiated and put there is not as simple as I thought it was going to be. Then another thing that we learned is, at the beginning, we paid too much for our talent. We said, oh, my model works, I'm going to pay X. And we really paid too much. So we were influencing the market in a bad way, paying too much. And I think everybody does that when you enter a new place. What else? We learned that we made one almost fatal mistake that then we corrected. When we entered the Mexico market, we said, we're going to look for the best technical talent, then we'll teach them English. We said that. I mean, it's a reasonable assumption. Well, that was the wrong assumption. Actually, we hired a number of people. We have to fire them. Not their fault, because you cannot do that. So we reversed the strategy and we said, first we find if you speak English, then we see if you're a good technical person. And that works like a charm. Works beautifully. By the way, another lesson learned is we invested a lot in improving the English of our employees, and we measure it. To give you an example, we every quarter, all of us go to a little computer where we are tested on our accent and our profit. Everybody, I am included. And then we have like a semaphore system where we go, green is almost native. I mean, this is our second language. Yellow is, you are okay. And red is, you put some effort or we'll fire you type thing, right? What I can tell you is I'm in the yellow. So 60% of my employees speak much better English than me. And that's amazing when you go visit, because you see them in action and you go, hey, this could be in New York, but no, it's in Guadalajara.